linear rhythm. It is also Ashokan rock edict. The rocket cave carved at Barbara Hills near the Goya. In Bihar, one of them is the Lomas Rishi cave. The facade of the cave is decorated with the semicircular Chaitya arch. Interior hall of this cave was rectangular. The interior cave rectangular. Ashokan rock edict. The rocket cave Barbara Hills near Goya. The Lomas facade caves decorated with the semicircular Chaitya. Rocket cave Chaitya. The entrance Chaitya arch. The interior hall of this cave rectangular. The entrance is located on the side wall of the hall. Side wall. Cave was donated by the Ashoka for the Ajivika sect. Ajivika sect of Jainism. Mauryan period. Pillars. The pillar built of Ashoka furnished the finest remain of the Mauryan art. Finest remain. The pillar was Ashoka edict inscribed on them were placed either in sacred enclosure or in the vicinity of towns. The pillars were made of two types of stone, the spotted red and white sandstone from the region of Mathura and buff colored. Hard stone usually with a small black spot. The palace of Chandragupta Maurya excavated in Kumrahar near Patna is an example of high level of stone art. The stone was transported from Mathura and Chunnar, excavated in Kurmahar. Each pillar had three parts: prop under foundations, shaft at the column and the capital. Prop is buried in the ground. Prop buried shaft or the column and the thin round of a slightly tapering shaft is highly polished. Highly polished. Highly polished. Thin round and slightly tapering shaft is highly polished. In highly polished. Stupa. Third part of the pillars. Which is third part of the pillar? Consists of some finely executed animal figures such as the lion and the elephant. The capital part. Thin round and slightly tapering shaft is highly polished, very graceful in its proportions. Shaft made of single piece of sandstone. Single piece of sandstone supports the capital made of another single piece of sandstone. One is the prop shaft and the capitals. Stupa are built in the huge mounds. Harappan architectures. Actually, Harappan architecture. Most unique feature of the Harappan architecture was the development of the Great Bath and the planned drainage systems, town styles. Great Bath, Mohenjo-daro. Modern day Pakistan was a large rectangular tank in a courtyard surrounded by a corridor on all four sides. There were two flights of steps on the north and south into the tanks, which was made watertight by using a mortar or gypsum. There are rooms on three sides, each in one of which a large well. Water from the tank flowed into a huge drain. Across a lane to the north lay a smaller building with 8 bathrooms with drains connecting to a common drain, then ran along the corridor. Everything corridors, tanks, wells, modern architecture. Water flowed into a huge drain. Across the lane, rooms on three sides, a large well, two flights of steps. Mauryan architecture. By the 4th century BC, Mauryan Empire established the power and under the great Ashoka. Rock architecture and the construction of stupa. and Bihar. Stupa Vihara, as a part of monastic establishment, became part of the Mauryan tradition of architectures. Earliest and more remarkable evidence of Indian architecture is found in the cities of the Harappan. Indian architectures found remarkable evidence. Post Harappan period, architectural style have been classified Hindu, Buddhist, Jain style. Medieval period saw the synthesis of the Persian and the indigenous styles of architecture. First, Buddhist, Jainist, and Hindu. Jain and Buddhist, three architectures. Medieval Persian and the indigenous or Indians blending. Thereafter, the colonial period brought the influence of the Western architecture from the India. Western architectural form. Stupa were built of huge mound of mud. Stupa Bihar, enclosed in the carefully burned small standard bricks. Built by the Mauryan kings, Buddha burial mounds, and places a major event in his life become important landmarks. Significant architectural buildings. Due to the popularity of Buddhism and Jainism, stupa and vihara were constructed on a large scale. Stupa consists of a cylindrical drum and a circular with stupa or vihara were constructed on a large scale. Stupa consists of cylindrical drum and a circular with a harmika and a chhatra, which remain throughout with a minor variation. In the subsequent centuries, stupa were elaborately built with a certain addition. Apart from the circular path, a gateway were added. With the elaboration in the stupa architecture, there was ample space for the architects and sculptors to plan elaborations and to carve out images. During the early phase of Buddhism, Buddha is depicted symbolically through footprints. Gradually, narrative became a part of Buddhist traditions. Buddha, the Jataka stories were depicted on the railings and torrents of the stupa. Due to the popularity Buddhism and Jainism, stupa and vihara were constructed on a large scale. Stupa consists of a cylindrical drum and a circular onda with a harmika. In the subsequent centuries, stupa were elaborately built with a certain addition, like enclosing of the circular path. Subsequent centuries, stupa were elaborately built with a certain addition, like the enclosing of the circular path. Railings, sculpture decoration apart from the circular path, gateway were added. With the elaboration of stupa architecture, there was ample space for the architects and sculptures. Buddhism, Buddha is depicted symbolically through footprints. Stupa, lotus throne, chakra. Stupa consists of cylindrical drums, circular anda with a harmika and chhatra on the top, which remain consistent throughout with a minor variation. Due to popularity Buddhism, Jainism, stupa and vihara were constructed on a large scale. Stupa consists of cylindrical drum, stupa, Buddha burial mound built by the Mauryan kings. Places of major events in his life became important landmarks. Significant architectural buildings in the country. Bihar are excavated in all the cave sites of the Ajanta Bihar. Cave site of Ajanta Ellora. Plan of the Bihar consists of veranda Bihar. A hall and cells veranda, a hall and cells around the walls of the hall. Some of the important where caves are Ajanta cave, Besa cave, Nasik cave. Many of early Bihar caves are carved with interior decorative Many of the early Vihar caves are carved with interior decorative motifs. Early Vihar caves, interior decorative motifs, statue arches, and the Vedika design over the cell doors of the cave facade design. Nasik cave became a distinct achievement. Vihar caves and Nasik were excavated with front pillars carved with Ghatta base and Ghatta capital. One such Bihar cave was also excavated on Junnar in Maharashtra, which is popularly known as Ganesh Leni, because an image of Ganesha belonging to later period. Post-modern architectures. From the 2nd century BC onwards, various rulers established their control over the vast Mauryan Empire. There are numerous sites dating back to the 2nd century BC. Some of the prominent examples of the finest culture of the founder Vidisha. Actually, Vidisha. Control over the vast Mauryan Empire. Some of the prominent examples of the finest culture of founder Vidisha. Barut, Bodhagaya, Mathura, Khandagiri, Udayagiri. BC onwards, various rulers established their control over the vast Mauryan Empire. Site dating back to second, some of the prominent examples of the finest culture. Varut, Bodhagaya, Vidisha, Mathura, Khandagiri, Udayagiri. One of such Bihar cave were also excavated Junar. The Maharashtra is popularly known as Ganesh Leni because the image of the Ganesha belongs to the latter period. Bihar caves at Nasik were excavated with the front pillars carved with Ghatta base, Ghatta capital. Ghatta base and Ghatta capitals. Ghatta base and Ghatta capitals. Amaravati Stupa. Stupa belong to Bengi in Andhra Pradesh, Amaravati, which is mainly stupa sites. Stupa Vihara. The Amaravati school developed under the patronage of the Satyavahana. A great stupa was built in Amaravati in lower Godavari region. Panchastupa, the Amaravati stupa also Pradakshina Patna concludes with Vedika. Bharut Stupa, Yaksa, Yaksini, Bharut Stupa. All are similar to the image of the Yaksa and Yaksini in the Mauryan period. Yaksa and Yaksini.